Hi, this is Marc Wayshak, and I'm America's sales coach on game plan selling. And I'm really excited that you're here today because we are going to be focusing on 7 critical strategies to success in sales. Now, so often we're focusing on the moves or the techniques, but sometimes we just have to take a step back and think a little bit bigger picture about what is our overall strategy. And, well, let me put it this way. So many of my clients come to me when they're feeling overwhelmed with all of their work, but also underwhelmed with the results. And sometimes it comes down to what are they doing outside of that sales meeting and how are they managing their professional and personal lives. And so today we're going to really, in this video, we're going to dig into just 3 key strategies that I have learned by working with some of the most successful salespeople out there and just people in general. And I've used all of these in my own life, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it. So let's get right into the first strategy. The first strategy, and this may sound controversial, is to throw away your to-do list. If you have a to-do list, it is time to stop using it. Now, let me clarify what I mean. I mean, if you have a list that basically is just to-dos and there is nothing time-bound about anything, so you have just, you kind of get through it and most of the stuff carries over to tomorrow and the day after and the day after that, which is what happens. Most times if we have a to-do list, everything keeps pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Here's what you do instead. You have a calendar, and if you need to have something done, you put it and say that you're going to do it on either today or tomorrow, or we'll pick a day and you do it then. Okay, so everything that's in your list of actually things that you need to get done is time-bound. There's an actual due date that has it done. Procrastination is the #1 dream killer, and to-do lists tend to lead to a lot of procrastination. The next is to take baby steps. So many people, when they want to set goals, they think that they want to have huge goals, and that's good. You want to have huge goals, but the day-to-day objectives have to be smaller. You want to live in a world of baby steps. Small progress leads to huge change. We often think that motivation is about doing really big things, and in some cases it is in the long run, but really what it is about doing a lot of little things over and over and over again. It's asking for that 1 referral a day or introduction a day. It's making those 20 calls a day. It's taking those baby steps consistently, and those eventually lead to a really huge step forward. The next is to be accountable. I am just blown away by how few of the people that I meet with before I begin working with them are really accountable. If you're a business owner or even a salesperson, you don't just want to be, if you're a salesperson, for example, you don't just want to be accountable to your boss. You want to have someone that is more of a peer accountability. If you're a business owner, you do want someone that is holding your feet to the fire, whether it's having a coach or it's having someone who's kind of on the same level as you, who's holding you accountable to doing what you say you're going to do. What I find is that we do not often want to stick to our commitments, but if someone is there to hold us accountable, it can get done. And especially being held accountable to things that we really want to have done. So find a person who's also in a similar situation, developing him or herself, or maybe a coach, someone who's there to support you and really hold you accountable. And find that person, be supportive of one another, but also be tough. Have your feet held to the fire. The next is to find your mentor. And this fits in a little bit with what we just talked about. So many people out there are trying to reinvent the wheel. They're trying to figure it out the hard way. Find someone who you admire, who's already where you want to be. Whether that means having a coach, someone who already has the right strategy and kind of push you in the right direction. A lot of my clients come to me for just that reason. They do not necessarily feel like they understand exactly how to sell effectively. And so they come to me, who's a mentor, who's been through it, who's done the hard things, and who can share with them exactly how to do it. Maybe it's in a totally different aspect of your life. Finding someone who is already where you want to be is one of the greatest resources you can have. So critical. Just ask for help. Ask that person for help, and it's amazing how many people are actually really willing to help. because you do not want to be reinventing that wheel and trying to figure it out the hard way. The quickest path to success is to identify someone who's already there and doing exactly what they do. Copy them. The next piece is to eliminate static. Okay, this is so important. So many people are so overwhelmed with all the things that they have to do, but then when you take a step back and you say, why are you really doing that? Oftentimes, they didn't need to do it in the first place. So here's one thing that you can do right away. Identify 2 non-productive activities in your daily routine. This might be work-related, or it may just be personal related, whatever you want. But in your, let's just say, part of your routine, 2 non-productive activities. So that could mean searching the internet. It could mean if you're checking emails all the time. So many people are checking emails constantly. Stop doing that. You don't need to be checking email all the time. I would argue that at most you need to check email twice a day. Of course, if your job is customer service and you need to be responding to emails constantly, that's a different story. But if you're in sales or you're a business owner, we rarely need to be checking email all the time. What are some other things that you could be taking out of your routine that are non-productive? That maybe it's just a 15-minute activity, but if you take out 2 of them, that's 30 minutes that you suddenly get back into your life. What are those? Eliminate that static. Okay, so often people spend so much time thinking about what they should be doing, but we don't really think so often about what should we stop doing. Okay, there are so many things out there that are wasting our time on a regular basis. What are 2 things that you can eliminate from your routine? Get rid of them. The next is to live in your own comfort zone. Okay, the most successful people, without a question, are okay being outside of their comfort zone. Okay, no one is, you're obviously, by definition, you're not going to be comfortable when you're outside of your comfort zone. Okay, but the more you do it, the more times you find opportunities to step outside of your comfort zone where you're comfortable, the better and the easier it gets. Okay, it's like exposure therapy. So if, let's say, for example, it's calling high up, calling to a CEO. A lot of people in sales are comfortable calling a buyer or a product manager or whatever it is. But then when it's time to call the CEO, they get uncomfortable, right? So that's an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone. The more you do that, just like exposure therapy or like a muscle, right? So the more you do it, the more you're stepping outside your comfort zone, the easier it gets. The more that muscle grows, the easier it gets. And the more your comfort zone starts to expand. So live in your uncomfort zone. And that's obviously a play on words, that you have an uncomfort zone. So that means outside of your comfort zone. The last piece is to always be developing. Throughout your entire life, but certainly throughout your professional career. You don't want to just, read the occasional book. I mean, become a student on whatever it is. So if it's learning to sell, it's reading every book that you can. It's investing in yourself. It's taking time to listen to audio courses, to watch videos like this. I can, without a doubt, pinpoint so much of my success to the fact that I've always been developing. I am a student of selling, and I continue to be a student of selling. I'm constantly learning as much as I possibly can about my craft. So actually, just as a way to start, of course, one place to start developing right now actually is I have an ebook that you can get instantly. It's a free ebook. It's normally a $47 value. It's on how to connect with any prospect to close more sales. So if you're in selling and you want to learn how to connect with prospects on a really meaningful way, just go to the website gameplanselling.com. If you're already watching this video on my website, it would actually just be, you should see where you can get the ebook right there. Otherwise, just go to gameplanselling.com and download that ebook. It's a great ebook. It's a good place to start to come up with to learn some strategies to instantly connect with people. Now, those were the 7 strategies. I told you they were not necessarily specific sales techniques, but when you start to use these strategies and you start to eliminate the static, you get rid of that to-do list, it's amazing how much instantly how much more time you have, how much more time you have to focus on those key activities. So I hope this was helpful. Again, my name is Marc Wayshak. I'm America's coach on game plan selling. Thank you so much for being here.